Hello everyone, I'm William Vivian, a founding director of Regenesis Business School. Welcome to this masterclass. Before I hand you over to your facilitator, I would like to introduce you briefly to Regenesis. Regenesis is a Johannesburg-based business and public management school with offices in Mumbai, India and Lagos, Nigeria. We have since 1998 been training and placing students in reputable organizations, helping them to achieve their goals by developing their management and leadership potential. We strive to develop analytical thinkers, problem solvers who are emotionally intelligent and value-driven, leaders who can operate successfully as we head into the fifth industrial revolution. Our programs generate new options for career advancement, wealth creation, and they will help you to expand your sphere of influence in our rapidly changing global environment. If your interest is piqued by the overview this masterclass provides and you want to join our online classes, you'll find more information on our digital courses and academic programs at regenesis.net. Your facilitator for this masterclass on cybersecurity is Prasant Bandari. With more than 18 years experience in cybersecurity, Prasant has led teams in security architecting, solution design, and consulting. His specialties include infrastructure security management, vulnerability assessment, penetration testing, secure design, code review, mobile application security, and integration of security into developing ops life cycle. Prasant holds a Bachelor's of Computer Applications from Punjabi University. I'm sure you will enjoy this session in his capable hands.
Hello, everyone. I see a lot of people are joining in from different parts of the world, and it's fantastic to have this audience. I have worked in Johannesburg as well, and have seen Cape Town, seen some parts of the Africa, worked with UN, Middle East, and all across the globe. And thank you for that discussion, by the way. James. So my name is Prashant Bandari again, and I'm a consultant with Regenesis and help them with cybersecurity courses as well as developing some of the courses and the content. But today I'm going to speak about what is cybersecurity. Why do we need it? I don't want to have this one-way conversation with you guys. You guys must have seen YouTube's. Everything is available on the internet if you want to search, right? However, this is a place. I'm going to share a slide, by the way. I'm not going to speak off of the slide. Anyways, there's full of knowledge available all over the internet. You can search around, study around, whatever. YouTube is the biggest university for that matter. However, what you need to know specifically is whether it applies to you in your job role, how it applies. That is not what YouTube teaches. That is what you will learn when you join a course. When specifically you want to learn a particular, you're probably working in banking sector. You're working in let's say in a college. You're working in manufacturing industry. So there are multiple applications. You may be a trainer just like me, not a cybersecurity, but a security trainer or a computer trainer or a professor. It's all applicable. Everything is applicable. So now I'm going to share my screen with you, and do let me know if it is not visible.
We can see that over there. You've made it full screen now. That's great.
Correct. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So this is the agenda. What we are going to learn. By the way, everybody, I will try to speak a little slow. It's not that somebody's not understanding. I'll make an effort for not to speak fast so that you don't miss it. But what is the agenda? What are we trying to learn in this? I would expect questions. I'll keep the question and answers part in the last 10 minutes of this session. However, within this time, I just want to go with the flow. If you have any questions in the middle again, just park it for the end. I will certainly answer them. Okay, so what is cybersecurity? Why do we need it? What is the definition? Why are we even learning it? What's the need of it? We could have gone with our businesses without it, right? What's the need? There is a need. Definitely there's a need. And there is a lot of people, there is a lot of shortage of this skill in the market. And hence, people are learning hard and fast. They are trying to learn it, grasp this technology, apply it wherever it is necessary. Excuse me. Nowadays, we have what do you say, Internet of Things, right? So you're sitting at one place, and if you have to water the plants all across the city, you have the cables or the pipes run all across, but you have to just turn it on. It is an application of internet or the network to turn that on and have the trees water there, right? Or small plants across, on the road. There's no tanker needed for watering it. We have the pipes run across. So there is an application, a simple application of Internet of Things. Now, somebody to disrupt it, it's very easy, right? Why is it easy? Because it's all on a computer. It is driven from a computer, and that computer is accessing the internet, is being used by a human being, right? So if it is being used by a human being, there are, the moment an interface between a human being and a computer comes in, which eventually any which ways will come in, automation will happen, but automation is not up to that level that you just have, somebody has to hit an enter to engage it, right? So there is an applicability of security each and every place, even on the nuclear plant systems, on airspace, air traffic controller, biggest place, to the banking. So I'll go with the flow. First, let's understand what is cybersecurity. By the way, if you do not understand anything, just raise a hand. I'll probably try and repeat that, okay? I'll let you read the slide because I don't speak when there is text on the slide. I'll give you 5 to 7 seconds to read this, maybe 10 seconds. Go ahead, please. Okay. As you see, there is internet is required everywhere. And nowadays, now is the right applicable time. It's coronavirus. Everyone is working, studying, doing things from home. You know, my wife is a teacher. She teaches from home. My kids are learning the lessons on the tablets. And my uncle, who was working in the marketing industry, he has his. Everyone is working in online. The internet entertainment industry or gaming industry is big now. People are stocking up their content to be brought up to the marketing. This is a breathing time, right? So they're breathing at the moment and trying to bring in front their Wimbledon, which is canceled, right? So the Wimbledon will happen. However, a lot of things are all driven by internet. Let's go off of the COVID topic right now, but all of the things have the applicability on the internet. You know, cloud computing. Cloud is nothing but whole of data is not stored on your on the hard disk of a computer, but it is stored and you're applying the compute on the cloud itself, like Amazon Web Services or Microsoft Azure, right? These are some of the service providers. You know, the Australian Open, if you will, the whole Australian Open tournament, they don't have servers, they don't have anything. They run it on the cloud. Their business, their operation is, and their all of the data is on the cloud itself. The moment Australian Open is done, they take it off. They don't have servers, nothing. All the scores on the players, background profiles, whose match is when, what are the results, everything is on the internet, is on the cloud. Once it's done, it's gone. So once we have a utility, right? We have a utility of internet. Now there are a lot of illegal activities happening on the internet. To do what? Some of the things like threats to an individual, threats to an organization, threats to a nation for that matter. You must be thinking, threats to an individual? Why not? There are threats to an individual thrown over the internet. There are people who are stalkers, who are doing social, like media, like you have Facebook and Instagram. That people are going behind, they're stalking people, right? So there is a lot of cybercrime happening in across. Let's understand what is cybersecurity. It's nothing but a protection. I need to protect the data, the whatever for that matter, from somebody attacking it. Money, data, whatever, it's applicable to your job role, wherever it's applicable to your environment. So I'll read this. This is a particular line I really want to read out. Cybersecurity refers to the body of technologies, processes, and practices designed. These are technology, processes, and practices designed to protect networks, devices, programs, and data from attack, damage, or unauthorized access. So this is just one line, but it is actually a gist of it, right? It tells you, what are we protecting? We're protecting programs, we're protecting devices, even human beings from attacks, right? These are some of the crimes that have happened. There was a ransomware called WannaCry. We'll come back to ransomwares later on, but some attacks. This is kind of an attack which locks down your files, and they ask for money, just like a hostage. You keep a hostage, and then you ask for money to release the hostage. Same thing. They ask for money from you for releasing your files here. So it is very much important. So the files for somebody who's in a financial organization or anything for that matter, it's important. Everything is running on basically because of the files which are there in the backend. Maybe the configuration files, maybe the files to have the whole data of the whole organization, maybe which is 50,000 people or 10,000 employees. Depends on the files. It's all depending on that. So these are some of the ransomwares which were hit, which are the major cyber crimes recently. Target was a retail organization, and 40 million credit cards were stolen. And you must be thinking, how? I mean, how is it stolen? I'll give you an example. When you have your credit card, you swipe it at a location, at a place where you bring all the stuff. You're doing grocery, right? You bring all the stuff, and then you swipe the card there at the checkout, if you will, not the online checkout, but the physical checkout. When you do a checkout there, you have the point of sale machines. Now these are also managed at the back end by some of the applications, right? And those applications are sitting on some operating system, correct? I don't want to delve too deep into the technology at the moment. I'm just keeping it real. Those operating systems, if they are infected, if they are exfiltrating the data which is captured by the swipe of the card, you're doomed, right? And that's how Target got doomed. Target was an organization from where 40 million credit cards were stolen. In the same fashion, JP Morgan Chase, their data was leaked, 76 million households, the financial data, right? Now, if you look at cyber attacks in 2016, there's an older data, however, it's still applicable. It's not an older slide. I've just brought in some older data wherein the attacks happened on the biggest of organizations. LinkedIn, my friends, you put your resume on there, right? You socially communicate over LinkedIn, like I would say professionally, rather, on LinkedIn, right? They were attacked. Dropbox, where you keep your files, your own, maybe some of the important files. A lot of the biggest organization, Oracle. Oh my God, it was the biggest one. Oracle, Yahoo. These guys have been attacked. I don't want to give numbers on what is what, but I just want to tell you, every type of organization is being attacked. Last week, there is an organization. They were attacked by a Maze ransomware. Try searching MAZE, the Maze you have, the Maze ransomware. Just try searching for it. Maybe later, not right now. Just note it down somewhere. Let's understand what is the motivation. Why do you think they are attacking? They're attacked, doomed, stolen, right? The credit card data can be sold. So money is the main motive. What is the motivation? Money here. Look at the second one. Very interesting. Script kiddies, right? Script kiddies, or somebody is curious. Well, can they be attacked? Can my own organization be attacked? Can I try and attack it? Can I play around and write a code and maybe script and download a script and run some scans? And while scanning, can I find, oh, that one website is vulnerable, or I can attack it? It's a curiosity. Revenge. No need to tell you. Organizations, revenge, disgruntled employees. I want to take a revenge. They chucked me out. I want to take a revenge. There you go. I want to take a revenge. They brought my business down. I want to take a revenge. There you go. They pay someone to attack. Fun. Well, this is kind of similar to curiosity. Fun is, well, I'll play around. I'll see what I can do, how much of it I can do, and then probably laugh it off, right? Praise seekers. I'm a hacker in a school, high school, colleges, universities, or even among their peers. You know what? I did this. I did that. I can attack that. Funny, but they're praise seekers. Even biggest of the attackers, hackers, they do that. Okay. What is the history of it? Well, the first recorded cybercrime took place in the year 1820, my friends. 1820. You must be thinking, well, at that time there was no computers. Friends, there was telegram, right? There was a lot of telephony system, right? And then there were a lot of viruses at that time that were created to disrupt telephony, disrupt telegram, decode telegram, decode the Morse code, right? Search for Morse code, MORSE-CODE, you would understand. And then there are, so this screen I picked up from one of the biggest company in cybersecurity. Is called Herjavec Group. And Mr. Robert Herjavec is the one who's the owner of it. You must have seen him in Shark Tank. Is a program that comes in, right? Anyhow, the latest and greatest attacks. Now you are on Facebook doing, whatever you're doing. Facebook is now used for marketing. It's used for multiple things, right? So there are a lot of attacks that are happening. But the history goes back to 1800s. There you go. I didn't have a very HD slide, but if you can read, the first virus that came in was 1977, and then breaking of websites started 1995, malicious codes 2000s. I love you virus. Some of you who are probably older in the industry would know maybe what is the I love you Trojan happened. Then there was phishing that started in 2005. We'll talk about phishing. Then denial of service, distributed denial of service. It means DDoS is a distributed denial of service, and data theft happened 2007 and 8. And thereon, you've seen multiple attacks. So I'll give you an example. Distributed denial of service or denial of service is something when your service is denied, your legitimate service is denied. Means you're trying to access a website, and that website is down. So you're trying to access it. You are the one who's a client trying to access that, and it is basically a legitimate website, but somebody has your access is denied. How? Somebody has probably thrown millions and millions of packets. These are in packets, millions and millions of packets in one go, and the server or the firewall was doomed, was trying to reply to all the packets. Probably its RAM started filling in when it tried to apply reply to those packets. So I don't want to get again too technical into it, but I think you're understanding. If somebody is being hit by multiple sources and I'm looking at 500 different things they're trying to hit me, even the smallest tone would hit me. So I need to respond back, or my body has to respond back to it, that, okay, if it's hit me, my body will recover, right? But by recovering, it's not recovering as much because more and more and more hits are coming in, right? So my body goes down. So in the same fashion, denial of services work. What are the categories? Let's talk about it. Now, it may be applicable to you here, but if you can read all the, if you can read all of them, it'll probably make sense to you. Banking fraud. You're in banking, trying to attack a website which has data, financial data in it, probably an insurance organization, and you're not insured, but you want to attack that website and change your name or your date of insurance to a prior date. Maybe you were covered from 2015. However, you just enrolled to an organization, insurance organization, and you're trying to showcase that you're trying to make the change and show that you're available from 2015 and your diseases are covered, or so and so. You're eligible for an insurance, right? This is one example. The theft on the banking industry, on the insurance industry, has become a very loud because it's dealing directly with money. They need to go ahead and cater or tame it. So these are some of the categories. I so want to get deep into it, but the time is not allowing me, my friends. I don't have much time in this, probably an introductory session, right? But I really want to get deep into it because it's my kind of technology, and you want to learn it, I want to teach. So I really want to get into it. However, defamation, okay. The defamation of an organization, of nation, maybe in India, we face attacks from a lot of organizations, a lot of nations. Our sites are brought down. My national sites are brought down, right? from different kind of countries, hackers. I don't want to name it. You kind of understood it, right? There are multiple attackers. However, the defamation of our the website or the services is done by attackers who are paid, right? Then you have attacking organizations, computer vandalism, cyber terrorism, software piracy. It's the biggest one. We've all done that. I've downloaded pirated softwares and tried to make it run. Later on, I realized, no, I think we should go the right way. But it takes a little while. I think there was a question. Good evening. Thank you for patiently explaining this. I'd like to know if we can get access to the recording. I think someone will answer you there, but I'll continue. Scamming, again, these are some of the attacks that have been there. And then there is identity theft. Phishing. You must have received some of the phishing emails, my friends, yes? I'm sure you must have received, click here, I'm calling from so-and-so. I received from multiple organizations, multiple people, click here, we are in the, okay, here, think about this scenario. We are in the process of changing our database, updating our database. Please click here and change your passwords. It's your banking website. So let's say America Bank, for that matter. We take third world country, America. Okay, so American website, American bank. We click on the link, it shows Bank of America, exactly the same the way you think it is. But it was just click here. But when you try to understand, the website never had, it was not a Bank of America website. It looked same, exactly the same. It had exactly where you supply your credentials. So what you do is you type in your username, your old password, change new password, exactly put the new password again so that they make sure, submit. In the end, nothing's going to happen, my friends. Nothing is going to change your password to old to new. You've already given the old password to them, right? So I think how you cater to this is by looking at what website you went to. It was Bank of America, but there will be BANKK of America. Go ahead, please. Go ahead, James. You have something to say?
Yes, yeah, no, Prashant, thank you. I just want to slide in behind you here because you're raising a very fascinating topic here, because I've certainly noticed over the last few months a tremendous rise in incidents of personal phishing directed to me at my personal email address. And it really seems like this is on the rise and is becoming a major cybersecurity problem that's touching the everyday person in the street, the normal citizen, isn't it? Yeah.
It is, certainly. Thanks for bringing that out, James. Not in the organizations, even in the street, like everybody who's online is getting access. So what they do is send spammed emails to everyone. And if you're at home, you're probably away from technology, and you're probably somebody who's just taking a look at emails to function, to probably order something, and you're not closely connected to technology, you tend to fall for it, right? You tend to fall for it. So what is it that you need to do? You need to be educated. You need to be educated. And how would you identify? How do you prevent such an attacks? This is what's good. So I cannot give you instant answer to it. It's a little, I have to delve deeper into it to explain it. But for instance, for a quick answer, when somebody, you click here, you hover your mouse on here, click here, right? And do not click on it. Do not click. You hover the mouse on top of it and see at the bottom of the page, you will see what is the website you're actually trying to access. So it is not actually Bank of America. There will be two off at in it, so that when you, or double B or America is misspelled, or there is an A in the middle somewhere, you're not able to understand and able to identify quickly. So there are small loopholes. There is an underscore somewhere, there's a dash somewhere. You don't understand it, you just hit click there, and then you're in the soup. This is just one simple type of attack, my friends. There are hundreds and hundreds of variants of it. There are variants, different variation of attacks like this. And you're getting SMSs every now and then, right? And you're trying to fall for it for the SMS. This is not on internet, basically. This is called SMS phishing, right? Just like phishing, they call SMS phishing. So you get phished by an SMS, and then you, even in an SMS, when you, nowadays we've got smartphones, there is, through the SMS, you can click on a link in the SMS, correct? And the moment you do it, my friends, you can be doomed. That link, if you click on it, it'll give all the saved passwords on the phone to someone, or saved credentials on the phone, or if, God forbid, you have your data stored, your credit card information stored, my friends, you're doomed. So be very careful in hitting those clicks in the SMSs as well. This is what's going to be taught in the in the classes to you. What is it that you should or shouldn't do? This is just one small piece of it, but let me tell you, there are lots of shortage. In my own organization, I'm looking for about 70 openings are there for cybersecurity professionals. I'm not able to find those in India. There is a lot of shortage of this resources, my friend. We need them, and we seek people like you to engage, study, and get in depth into the knowledge. I'm not B-star. No, I'm just telling you the truth, my friends. We need the resources. So fake, malicious apps. You download malicious apps, they kind of doing the similar. If you open it as a developer, try and see what it is doing in the code on the right side. By the way, can you see the mouse when I move it? Because I'm just sharing the slide. Can you?
Yes, we can see the mouse loud and clear.
Sure.
It's definitely clear.
Thank you. So when you install an app and you go to the developer mode and try and see what's there, right? So it's probably some script which is picking up the credentials which are saved in the applications. So you got to be very safe. How you do it is a reverse engineering. You're trying to reverse engineer a malware. Okay, I will let you read when there is a lot of text. I will let you read this. Email spoofing, just before you read it, let me tell you, email spoofing. Basically, when you are not yourself, I mean to say you're posing to be someone else, and you're spoofing the email, okay? Go ahead and read this slide. I'll give you 10 to 12 seconds on it. I'll grab a glass of water. I have it right here with me. Just a second. Okay, I'm back. So look at these two cases, right? Just by email spoofing, and a teenager, even $1 million by shares, right? These kind of attacks are on the rise, are still on the rise. They're not happened, they're just on the rise still. Thousands of investors lost a lot of money on it, right? The spoofed email appeared to have originated from the bank itself. Think of it, how they got attacked. Now, I don't want to get into deep of each scenario here, but you understand how critical it's it for an organization, for somebody, even an end user, for somebody working in, let's say, oil industry, or in probably any kind of industry for that matter. It is very important to understand it. Okay, there are some password cracking. This is the basic where it starts from. That you try to attack someone by, and everyone has a password saved, right? Or everyone logs onto a site or website or an application or a tool using passwords, right? What are the different techniques? We've got dictionary attack. I have the passwords from a dictionary. So never use your dictionary text there. I mean to say the word should not be there in the dictionary. Use an exclamation, use symbols, use numbers in there, uppercase, lowercase, mix it up. You know it, right? The attacking of it gets a little complicated. Dictionary is another one. Brute force. Brute force is when you have A to Z, right? You try to use all the permutation combination from A to Z, but now you mix it up with numbers. Now it gets even cumbersome for an attacker. Bring up 10 symbols, right? From 1 to 0, you have with the shift key, you have symbols in there. Add them in there. And when you add an uppercase, my friends, the attacker is doomed. It's, I mean, it'll take forever because 26 more alphabets are going to be there for him to attack. Keep your password up to 10 characters long. Yes, James.
Yeah, no, Prashant, you're raising such a fascinating thing over there because the one end you want to keep your access absolutely secure, but on the other hand, you have the problem of trying to remember these passwords. Because for every different sign-on, there's a different password. And if you try and keep some of it the same, you're compromising your security. I do hope that technology will be able to make this a lot simpler in future.
Not in future, James. It is at the moment. That's why. So even in cybersecurity, you're not even learning cybersecurity only, right? There are techniques which are doing single sign-on, and you need to remember one password, just one complex password, and this tool, this identity, this field of cybersecurity is called identity and access management. So there are a lot of people, my friends. We need a lot of people in cybersecurity in identity and access management. So SIEM is another, firewalls another. Intrusion detection system, URL filtering solutions. You have a lot of technologies, but identity and access management is another ballgame altogether, like James brought out. Yes, so if you want to delve into cybersecurity, you want to get into blockchain, yeah, go ahead. It is, again, cybersecurity. You want to get into probably firewalls, intrusion detection system that fascinates you, fantastic, go for it. You want to get into something who creates policies, security policies for an organization. You want to learn that. Again, learn a whole gamut of cybersecurity, become a CISSP, and then you're running all across, my friends. A lot of money for CISSPs, my friend. There's a lot of money for people who are in this space, and they are needed. It's not in India, it's every country, my friends. Because every country is booming their technologies, their their networks, they have to get into security sooner or later. Now there is data scientists, there is automation that has come into security. If this happens, do this. If this happens, do this, do that, just read the last one, which is phishing infected USBs. I infect a USB, walk inside and throw it and keep it on the table. Somebody curious trying to, plug it in. I've already got the saved files, saved passwords of your computer sent to a FTP to a server, right? Which I'm already trying to listen. Impersonate someone like a help desk employee. We can do a lot of different types of password cracking. Okay, there's a question. Thanks for taking the time of your evening to lecture us. I'm currently studying computer science and I'm wondering what would be the approach to specialize in cybersecurity. Okay, please, what's the meaning of the acronym CISSP? I will give you all the information. We will go ahead and answer all of it. By the way, for somebody who's trying to already learn computer science and you're fascinated by the cybersecurity field, we can guide you later on after this session. I'm going to take up this question. So are you, Mr. or Ms. Sadia Yusuf? I will go ahead and answer your question. CISSP is generally for advanced cybersecurity professionals. Not for initial, probably first, if you got a couple of years under your belt on security, CISSP requires at least 3 to 4 years of experience into security, and you can become a CISSP. But it's not tough at all. Yeah. Okay, we were getting into cyber terrorism. Okay, cyber terrorism is again a very, very classified topic. Cyber terrorism can be for different, to do something of the economic loss of an organization or a country or a nation, political attacks, for attacking someone, and the civilian population. We kind of faced a similar cyber terrorism. Probably it was cyber terrorism, we don't know, but someone tried to send a few people in India to their native place, that there is a train that's going to start at this time and this hour on the internet, and it was sent out on the Facebook, and everyone started reaching that spot. And it was COVID. Under COVID, everything was locked down still. There were thousands and thousands of people reached that railway station, my friends. And you see how this attack, maybe it's a political, cyber, a terrorist attack. We don't know, but it was an attack that was on the nation. So there is something in terms of target. Cyber terrorism targets something which is like critical national information infrastructure, computer systems, or critical infrastructure, civilian population, political, ideological, social. So these are some of the attacks or targets, right? And the motivations are, political, ideological, or social. So there are multiple ways to attack, multiple mechanisms. Once you get into the course, you'll understand how deep this is. It's not about somebody trying to learn computers and attack. No, it's about how to utilize that knowledge and attack a particular political system by orchestrating the attack. It's deep. It's a warfare for that matter. Identity theft. Identity theft is a term used to refer to fraud that involves stealing money or getting other benefits by pretending to be someone else, correct? An American national, I'll read it out, American national Ken Haywood, whose most likely fault was that his Wi-Fi was attacked. and under the scanner for involvement in Ahmedabad, is a place in India, terrorist attack. So there were attacks from terrorists, and then somebody hacked someone's Wi-Fi system and attacked. My friends, he was doomed. He was under the involvement, under the scanner, right? So in the same, I think there are a couple of questions I think I need to answer. I would like to switch careers and do not know where to start in cybersecurity. All I know at the moment, I'm interested in securing data. Sure, Brad. Definitely, I can help you out with that. We will have probably another session one by one. So just like Sati, I would like to know, there is somebody who asked about that. I would like to explain. So when you're trying to say switch careers, you probably are not from a computer's background. You still want to learn it, right? And I suppose that's the case. What you do basically is try and, I would like to switch career. All I know at the moment is that I'm interested in secure data. Yeah. So at the moment, I think how I can help you is give you a little bit of information of everything, which I'm trying to do at the moment. And specifically one-on-one, we can discuss, I can help, James can help me connect with you, and we can discuss it out, what you're learning and where you want to go. I can counsel you there. Okay. How many people, now I want to have a poll here. Please put it in the chat. How many people know what is ransomware? I'll wait for 10 seconds, 12 seconds to answer. And I want to know you all are listening actively or not. I talked a little bit on ransomware. Okay, I see answers coming from Jesse, Heinrich, if I'm pronouncing it correct, Phil, Benny, Tariq, Hilton, and an anonymous attendee. Yeah, so a lot of people know a little bit or probably full of it by how ransomware is. It's just like taking someone hostage. The hostage here is your files and folders, my friends. And by the way, you can get back your folders if you pay on a Bitcoin is accepted here. This is a screenshot I've taken. So it was for the one decryptor, right? So what happens is they ask you money anonymously and send $300. Your computer, probably laptop, is worth $300. You say, I don't need it, but your data is way much more expensive, friends. And probably somebody's PhDs, somebody's doing PhD and their whole thesis is sitting there, everything, right? And you probably didn't use cloud, you want to keep it, and gosh, you have a lot of things to, it gets very expensive if ransomware is there, right? Now, how do you do it? How do they do it? They encrypt it. They encrypt your files with different algorithms, which are probably not out there in the open. The algorithms are custom. You must be thinking, I will reverse engineer it. I will try my hand and open this file. Try hard, my friends. I've tried it myself, okay? In the labs, I've tried it myself. The algorithms used are nowhere which are used anywhere. That's why it gets expensive and you cannot remove these ransomwares. How can you protect these ransomwares? You must be thinking, right? These are coming from the phishing emails that you clicked on. Don't do it. These are coming from the files you're accessing, which are probably not clean, not, they're under the scanner, but your antiviruses and so forth are not updated. So there are multiple things. How a ransomware can come in. There are multiple vectors that they can come in. There are multiple vectors. They can be mitigated as well. There are multiple techniques. But right now, you need to know that there are techniques called ransomwares which are there. Some of the preventions from the previous attacks, some of the previous attacks I just talked about. Just read them out, please, in your hearts. I'll give you 15 seconds. In the meanwhile, let me see the questions. that was a good one, just say, kidnapping data. Okay, Tariq, received this in my previous organization. All right, Okay. I think the recorded session is, I'll leave it to James if it's going to be shared with you. But let me just go with the flow. We'll answer these questions later. Okay, my friends. Firewalls, antiviruses, intrusion detection systems, uninstall unnecessary softwares. They're still sitting in your phones, in your computers, still sitting there. You're not using them. They may be the backdoors to your network or your laptops or your devices, whatever you're accessing it. Maintain backups, constantly do backup, because if it's your computer or your files are dead, then you have some backups somewhere or the other. Check security settings, stay anonymous, choose a genderless screen name in forums whenever you have. Never give your full name or address to strangers. Of course, these are, my mom used to tell me when I was a kid, right? Never give full names or address to strangers, right? Here as well, it's applicable. Now it's more applicable. Right? Learn more about internet privacy. I think what you need to learn more about is what are the types of cyber crimes that are there, right? What are the type of, in addition to privacy, the types of cyber, it's as a prevention as well. You need to know what are the types of cyber crimes and what is it that you can do against it, or what is it that your government is doing against it. So you need to know that. By the way, cybersecurity is everyone's responsibility. You, me, everyone, all together. So if you yourself are not involved too deep into it, this is the time, sooner or later. Yeah. So some people I've seen, they've even crossed they've even crossed 65 years of age, and they're working in computers. They have never worked on computers before. Like my dad, he never worked on a computer before. Maybe 5 years back he started it, but all before that he never used a computer. Now he used it, and then he becomes, I guide him what to do, what not to do personally, and it is his responsibility as well there are some do's and don'ts of it. Okay. So I think now I've come to the questions part. I will let everyone.
Prashant, thank you. That's a fantastic presentation, and we've got a bit of time. I tell you what, why don't you kill the slide share so we can have a conversation together, and then we'll pick up questions from the folk out there. And yes, there we go. We're already now over here. I can see these questions coming up. And what I'm going to do, it's about 5:25 now. If the conversation is going strongly at 5:30, I'm going to let it run on a little bit so we can deal with all the issues over here, not just cut it off at 5:30, if that's acceptable to everybody. Of course, if people need to duck out and do something else, that's absolutely fine. So let's get into the discussions. I see there are a couple of things there that people are talking about, etc. Right, let's have a look at what we've got here.
Yeah, I see a question. Is hard drive crash also due to cyber attack, or it's the internal hard drive fault? Both. Can be both, Prakash. The primary reason is, by the way, general reason is the hardware itself, right? However, there can be embedded systems or VLSIs are attacked nowadays with cyber attacks. So the embedded systems, if they are attacked, they reach out to the hard disk as well. So you understand the kernel and the hardware, the interface. Nowadays, the attacks are sitting, the rootkits are sitting on the kernel level, which can attack a hard disk. And the answer is yes, it can be done by both. The second part is, how does staying anonymous help prevent cybercrime? Well, my friends, if you're actively participating in forums and actively getting, deeper into the aggressive conversations right, which are probably gets hurt someone politically, and they have goons, my friend. The political system, they have goons as well. I can speak, at a length on this. They can track you down and get you there, right? So you gotta be a little careful in doing that when you're doing forum discussions and so forth. Does cybercrime legislation keeping track with the development in cyber attacks? I'm not sure if I understand the question in a way, but cybercrime legislation or the government, if you're talking about, they are abreast with the latest technologies. Every government nowadays is getting abreast with the latest and greatest technologies. And let me tell you, my friends, all of the cybersecurity vendors, like there is a vendor called Checkpoint Firewalls. There is a vendor called Microsoft Advanced Threat Protection. These guys are going to the governments and bringing up and giving them the latest solutions to protect. So one is the cyber attacks. They make them aware about the latest cyber attacks, and hence they change the cyber crime with version .1, like 4.0 is now changed to 4.1 because of this kind of attack. They got to know from the vendors. So the answer is yes. Next one. Oju.
Just while before we get into that one over there, I think that's a fascinating thing about legislation keeping track with this, because the environment is changing so quickly that I suppose the legislative process is always a lag in this, and that it takes a bit of time for it to catch up. So by the time that the lawmaking process has caught up with it, it's already morphed into a different format.
Yes, James, you're 100% correct. And I agree. Can't agree more.
Yeah, good. Go on.
Toju,
yes.
Am in for cybersecurity. Has it started? Okay, Toju, you're pretty late probably. Yes, you are in for cybersecurity. I'm on the cusp of finishing it. There's a fantastic question. I read it. I'm looking at doing my OSCP. By the way, for others, OSCP is a course for doing a penetration testing, trying to penetrate intentionally to find out the vulnerabilities and fix them. So OSCP is the course that Hendricks is talking about. I'm looking at doing my OSCP, but I've seen it requires PWK, which is all penetration testing on Kali. I have found a few places in South Africa. Are there any places you can recommend for it, or maybe an alternative? Well, my friends, I used to run an OSCP. I am an OSCP myself. I've done penetration testing, the OWASP, web application penetration testing as well. But from the past about 4 years, I haven't gotten into like hands-on. Now I think I'm into a job role where I don't get to get my hands dirty, which is, I don't like it. I want to get, this is what happens when you climb up a ladder in a space. But I think you can get online courses. And I, at the moment, Regenesis probably is in the process of getting these kind of courses outside. So we will get into, we'll probably answer that.
There's a whole raft of courses that are coming up now, which watch your emails. You will be getting the information about this, and you can really build a career around this from what we're offering now into the future. These master classes are really just a showcase to see what's available down the track. It's going to get much more complicated, much more roll up the sleeves and get your hands dirty. And so that'll be a good place to start.
Okay, so how do you detect email spoofing? There's an anonymous question. Okay, there are email security solutions, my friends. Please look at a tool called Proofpoint, 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 or Cisco's Iron Port, or I think now it's something else. It's called, the Iron Port has been, the solution was Cisco Iron Port. So you might want to learn about the protocols or techniques called DMARC or SPF. They are basically reverse verifying the paths of the emails, okay? So you want to learn about DMARC, DMARC, and SPF, okay? How can I link GDPR with cyber? Amazing, wow. I'm getting amazing questions, my friend. GDPR, I think that the audience is pretty savvy on cybersecurity, and I like the questions there. So GDPR again is pretty much linked in cybersecurity, Brad. If you're trying to learn cybersecurity compliances and policies, so GDPR is a compliance for others. This compliance, when you're trying to learn, the data shouldn't go outside the continent or a country, right? So how do you do the inspection if the data, if the inspection technique or is available in cloud in America or has been kept in Asia, and the data is from Europe to Asia is passing? You want to be careful on it. So GDPR compliances do come under cybersecurity, pretty much under information security for that matter, Brad. There are courses, definitely there are courses which are catering to GDPR and PCI DSS and others compliances like HIPAA, all other compliances. There are courses for information security. You can link it to cybersecurity as well, because the tools that are used in cybersecurity are catering to the compliances. Is it true that cyber criminals use much psychology? Yes, that is 100% true. Using the psychology, you can go ahead and attack because you know how the person thinks, right? Or how the organization operates, what kind of vendors the organization has, whom are they connecting to. The psychology is pretty much understood, R-E-A-D, is pretty much read and understood before attacking. Prakash, again, another question. There are official website where you see a security symbol of lock. Is it 100% guarantee of safety? Or even a phishing site can have the same lock? Yes, my friends, a phishing site can have, a lock is nothing but a communication channel between you and the website, and that is just an SSL lock, nothing more. But the data, when you are uploading to the website, is just an encrypted data. You're not securing. So I can attack a website with a lock. A phishing website can have a lock. So don't think if you're clicking a website, oh, it is HTTPS. Oh, they're using SSL. There is a lock. I'm secure. No. That's the biggest mistake. It's just a secure channel between you and that server. That's it. So
in other words, that server, the problem is not getting between your device and the server. It's when you get to the server. That's where the naughty people are.
Yeah. I mean, if I'm naughty, right, I still access the website through that lock, pretty much through that lock, and upload malicious content and malware to the website. I can do it. Nobody's stopping it. So there should be a mechanism on the website to protect that, okay?
Right, let's take two more questions and I think we're going to draw it to a close.
Yeah, sure. Christina, educative and informative. Is there no way for individuals to checkmate them and protect our data, especially once uploaded on cloud? Yes, there is cloud security. You might want to learn, Christiana, about cloud security. When I say cloud security, you might want to learn a little bit on, there are channels of cybersecurity gets delved into different fields, right? Identity and access management, firewalls, intrusion detection system, penetration testing, and cybersecurity. So you might want to learn CASB. Microsoft has a product called CASB, or Zscaler is a company which has Z as in Z. The Americans pronounce as Z. The whole world pronounces as Z. It's Z Security. Okay, so Zscaler is a company. Zscaler is a company. Look for their this thing, CASB. What is Zscaler CASB? Okay, you will get the answer. So, by the way, for others, CASB is nothing but a proxy. It's before you send the data to cloud, your application. Zscaler sits in the middle, takes the data, takes the request, cleans the request, and sends it out to the organization or the website. So look for CASB.
Prashant, I think for the last question, Avi, we'll deal with the question about Zoom, because we're on Zoom right now, and it's been a very topical point to be debated recently. I know Zoom have brought out some changes. Maybe you'd like to speak about that, and then I think we'll draw our conversation to a close.
Yeah, because I see a lot of questions, and I don't have that much time, my friends, at the moment. I'm trying to answer as much as I can, but I'll answer a couple of questions on Zoom. Zoom is probably the one which we are using at the moment. I'm being from cybersecurity. I'm using it. They've come up with the patch, by the ways. The patch was because if the app was installed on the Zoom, on the application, on the phones, then it was a threat to other apps. Like I told you, like malicious apps can be installed. So Zoom was infected an app. If you install it, only then it was infected. Now what they've come up with the newest patch. With the newest patch, people are using it. I'm using it on my laptop. However, it's not the case. Laptops are still okay. Computers are still okay to use with Zoom. But people are finicky about getting the app. The app has given a newest patch. The patch comes in when the attack was reverse engineered and then patched, right? So now they've patched it. Hence, we are also using Zoom. So no problems there, my friends. You can be sure on it. Also, you can check the websites or forums for the threat which has been mitigated now. Earlier, yes, it was an attack. There was an issue. Now it's not.
Prashant, unfortunately, time is catching us now. And it's a great pity we could go on for a long time still. And
I know I can.
This has been a riveting discussion. I think we're really starting to get the exciting stuff now. And to the folk out there, and I think a number of people who've been party to this discussion have indicated an interest in studying further, and that's what we're offering through our digital university at Regenesis. So watch this space. You're part of the family now. You're part of the Regenesis family. So you will get all the information, and I'm sure you will use it wisely, and you will build your career going forward over here. Prashant, it's been wonderful spending time with you this afternoon. Thank you for this. I know it's probably late in the night in India right now, so
yes.
Being an IT person, your day's only starting now. Usually you guys work through the night.
Yeah.
But thank you so much. Thank you for your practical inputs into this. It's making it accessible, make it understandable, and for just being a jolly good guide to all of us through this process.